Now, much has been made about Mamdani, the guy who's running for New York City mayor. He went to Washington, D.C. today to try and drum up support for major libs because, as far as anybody's concerned, the only people that have endorsed him explicitly are AOC and Bernie Sanders, which doesn't make up a huge amount of the lib party over there. But nonetheless, he's still in the race. Let's bring our panel back, Paula and Lily. Guys, this is interesting. Paula, I want to start with you because you unfortunately may have to deal with this guy much more than the rest of us and spread out throughout the country. Among the many things that he himself has said, his dad wrote a book in 2004, and I'm going to read you a quote from this. Try not to be too horrified. His dad said, "Suicide bombing needs to be understood as a feature, not a bug, a feature, of modern political violence rather than stigmatized as a mark of barbarism." He wrote this in a 2004 book called Good Muslim, Bad Muslim, America, the Cold War, and the Roots of Terror. Paula, people, detractors will be like, you're taking it out of context. Okay, fine. What context does this make sense in?
No context at all. And I don't want to be in a position where I'm generalizing any group of people, but I had a professor in college that also of that same religion that referred to 9/11 as a cultural misunderstanding. The reason us Americans do not understand them for the cultural differences that we have from people who are from that part of the world. That is legitimately what we were told. I mean, I'm a New Yorker myself. My dad was in New York City during 9/11. I mean, he talks every single year about the horrors of it. The fact that we are forgetting about all of that, we're distant from all of that, and we have a guy running for the mayor of the biggest city in this entire country that clearly has been brought up in an upbringing that has no respect for American values and American culture I don't even know how to put into words how this makes me feel. And the more that comes out about this guy, the worse it gets. I mean, at a certain point, I thought a couple of weeks ago, we'd say, okay, we found everything on him. Every single thing I hear, he just gets worse. And I didn't even think that was possible.
Yes, echoing that point, I felt the same way about the Maryland father, Kilmar Abrego Garcia. First, he was just from Maryland. He was a father. Okay, he beats his wife. All right, he's a human trafficker. Okay, he's part of a gang. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Lily Kate, is that going to do anything, though? The more we find out about this dude, the more that people are aware of, in my opinion, his very radical ideas of things. Not even opinion, that's just objectively true. Do you think it's going to matter ultimately when it comes down to the elections coming up?
Well, the New York mayoral elections are extremely interesting because they do it in a very, very different way than normal elections. So there might be some kind of quartering or having of a vote that ends up going in either Eric Adams' favor or, running as an independent or Governor Cuomo's. It might end up and shake up some sort of way. But I just want to point out the fact that he wrote that in 2004. That's like 3 years after 9/11 happened. That's when patriotism was at its very highest between Republicans and unity between Republicans and Democrats nationwide. I mean, we say never forget, but we're clearly forgetting something about, and the fact that he would call legitimate and actual violence just a part of the American political system should show how radical that the Islam ideology is and how powerful of a political tool it is. And I always tell people this, I say, Islam is an extremely powerful political tool because it relies on the understanding of hierarchy, power, and then it's not afraid to use violence and then lie about the actual violence that it commits. And so we need to be really careful about who we elect in the New York mayoral race because it's the biggest city. It's a very important city in America. And I just hope that independents and Republicans can all organize themselves to get out of the way and not shoot themselves in the foot and all, clan behind one person, push that guy forward so we can beat this once and for all. Because this won't be the last iteration of a Mamdani that comes around who is from an extremely radical, well-educated, quote unquote, well-educated family. This is just the beginning. I think we're going to see people like him pop up all over the United States. And we need to know how to band together with independents, with Republicans, with conservatives, with libertarians to get around these people because it's not going to get any less radical.
Yeah, and to piggyback on your comment about the timing of that, you got to think too in the context. We just stopped having to take off our shoes at the airport last week, and I know that wasn't an exact derivative of 9/11, but still, like this has been reverberating for the last 25 years. It's of course that's crazy that that was written in 2004.